right, 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I am more and more confused by technology, and Jim George helps us understand it. So he's in the studio right now. He is the professor of the universe. And in today's case, while that may have been something silly, I decided to call Jim when our topics went everywhere in the universe. Today, there really is kind of a universe kind of a question that I want to ask Jim. So.
All right.
So everybody's invited to call you questions. And on a serious note, if you have maybe a gadget, a device, maybe you got your mom something for Mother's Day that you just don't know how to set, like a clock that sits on a granite table that says it's Saturday today.
Yeah.
Give us a call, 622-9622, and Jim will help you figure out how to set it or whatever it needs to be done. Hey, Jim.
Yeah, one of the hardest things in the world is that there's that blinking VCR that used to blink all the time.
Yeah.
I think many of us are glad that we no longer have VCRs.
Why haven't they done something about that? Like when the microwave goes off, you'd think there'd be a battery in it that
you would think
just keep it going.
Instead,
right?
you got to reset it each time.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy a $7, well, actually about a $9 clock from Walmart, and you put it on your wall, and it reaches the satellite through your electric wire and sets itself.
Nice.
So it's always correct. We have them in our building.
Wow.
We have 4 of them, and you just plug them in, and it sends a signal through the electric wires back, and connects to the different power grids, and comes back, and you'll see the hand just spinning around like crazy, and then it comes to the right time and stops.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
$8, $9.
That is cool. I got to get one.
There was a guy. You know, there's another gadget, by the way. I'll tell you this other story in a second. But there was another gadget we saw. You break an egg into this plastic thing, and it floats in boiling water.
I have those.
You have those?
I have
The
those.
thing is in shape of an egg.
Yes, I have those.
Where did you get those?
My wife gave them to me for a gift like many years ago for Christmas.
You don't know where?
She knows I like boiled
Robert wants
eggs.
to get them for her mom.
Yeah, they
nice.
do work. Matter of fact, if I find them, I think I got 2 sets. I'll be glad to. Oh, but you bought them for Mother's Day, right? Which is tomorrow. So,
Yeah, I'm going to buy one
Sunday,
today.
So.
But do you make hard-boiled eggs in them?
I have.
And so you no longer do you have to worry about peeling a hard-boiled egg.
Exactly, and you can do it where you can just put the white in there. You know, you break the egg.
Oh,
now you tumble
okay.
it back and forth in the shell. You know how to do that correctly.
Not really. No.
So the yellow's in one and the white's in the other.
I've seen people do it, but
and you don't throw any of it away. You could actually do one all yellow, one all white.
have you ever seen the duck sucker?
The what?
Say again.
The duck sucker? Have you ever seen this
The
thing?
duck sucker?
I think you got arrested.
It sucks the yolk out of an egg. It's a little like it's a little duck, like a rubber ducky you have in the, but it's got a mouth on it with a big lip, big set of lips, and you put the lips. I know, duck with lips.
How big is that mouth?
Smaller than the yolk of an egg.
It's really.
Anyway, so you squeeze it and then you push it against the yolk and you let it suck up and it just gets the yolk.
There you
How
go.
cool
Look
is
at that.
Yeah, it's called the duck sucker. You haven't?
No.
Now there's a
that?
gadget for you.
Oh boy.
That sounds cool.
Why is it? Oh, because it's in the shape of a duck. That's why it's called. It's not called an egg sucker. That would be like an egg sucking dog.
Right.
Yeah, I never thought about why it's called that.
Wow, that's cool.
It's a duck sucker.
An egg sucking duck. That cracks me up.
Oh my gosh! All right, so there was this thing. This guy was having his UPS packages stolen from his front porch, and so he suspected he was. So he he set one up, a booby trap, and he had a what do you call it? A shotgun shell blank rigged up inside of a box, and he had his camera on, and then he went to work. And as he's at work, he's looking on his computer, and sure enough, here comes somebody walking up to get it. And he, with his phone, jing, 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 pushes the button, boom, and it blows up, and the guy runs away because it's a loud noise, you know. Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, they have, my wife has those collar shockers for the dogs that are remote control, and the dogs bark sometimes, and I have to go down and tell them to be quiet and such. And I asked her, I said, why don't you use that remote control shocker? And apparently they don't work as well as they're advertised to work. In other words, the battery runs real quick.
Oh my gosh.
So,
plus, sometimes dogs just might ignore.
And we need to, so they now have them where they spray a mist. So it's a dog collar. And if the dog barks, instead of shocking the dog, it's more humane, let's say. it sends out a mist like a eucalyptus type mist,
Oh,
something
my.
the dog would not like to be around.
So is that going to be the next thing? Because like you have those invisible fences
We have
for
invisible-
the dogs. So does that work on the same principle where the dog gets shocked as they approach the invisible fence?
Well, yeah, I suppose they could make the device so that it sends the mist out instead of shocking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, our luck, our dogs would love that mist and just go crazy.
Yeah, and they jump
Oh,
over the
look at
invisible
that.
fence.
Yeah,
and
fun,
they're
something fun,
free.
yeah.
Plus, who wants to be close to a dog that smells like whatever it is that you're ejecting? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear the story about the dad at the prom who was chaperoning his daughter? Chaperoning the prom, but his daughter was also at the prom, and he puts saltpeter in the date's drink to
No, I did not.
yeah. So he got in trouble, but I guess he didn't get
hope
arrested.
so.
Okay.
Oh.
So then we looked up what is saltpeter.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's potassium nitrate. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's used in fireworks. It's used in a whole bunch of stuff. It's
Yeah.
used in corned beef, right?
Right.
And it's used in toothpaste. That like Sensodyne.
Yeah, for
If you have like if your
sensitive
teeth are sensitive,
Yep.
it's in that. And of course, I've been using that for a couple of years now.
That's the reason right there.
That's exactly what's happening to me.
There you go.
I found out. I thought I was dead.
scary.
I thought. Well, I wonder what happened.
There's a joke
scary.
about that, but I can't tell it on air.
What the heck happened to me?
Oh, boy. Yeah, they gave that to us in,
I mean, I wasn't exactly a ninja, but
in Vietnam. They had those. Yeah, this military
did
gave
it
them
work?
out.
Did it work?
I would not know.
All right, so here's my universe question. Are you ready for
Okay,
this?
yes.
All right, so last week we sent up in space 2 things that are supposed to be zooming in on stars that are so far away that we're literally looking back in time because light travels.
Right.
So we're not really looking at light that's now. We're looking at light that was like millions of years ago.
So they say. Anyway, keep going.
So they say, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So the quantum scientists are warning us that when you look at something and you have expectations about that something, you influence that something. Therefore, we might be influencing the universe just by looking. What? Does this make sense to you at
No,
all?
it makes absolutely that. That means that each person would be influencing something. I mean, like one person is praying for rain and one person's praying it doesn't rain.
Right.
You know, what's God supposed to do? So no, I don't believe.
So
that for a
do you
second.
understand quantum physics at all?
Oh yes.
Okay, well, what is it? How do you explain? Can you explain it to me so I know what
Well,
it
it's
is?
all theoretical in the sense that if A and B are similar or alike, then C must be similar or alike. And so what they do is they extrapolate a formula, and they hypotheticalize why this would happen or would not happen.
Right.
But they always approach it with a predetermined vent towards a certain direction. In other words, some people might say they were predisposed to a certain answer. So it's like, is the Earth 7,000 years old, or is the Earth 70 billion years old? Or
Right.
the book that you had, 13.8 billion year old Earth. You asked the guy, how did he come up with that date? And he said, well, you first come up with, this must be this date because of, and if that's that date because of, then you just keep going back and back. So you theorize that it's, I'm having trouble pronouncing words today.
Okay.
What's in this water? What did you,
I know.
you got saltpeter in there.
Saltpeter's in there.
All right, so
I can't get it out.
now you know what an electron is, and
Yes.
I really don't know what it is. But the article said that when electrons are projected and they're not observed, they behave differently than when electrons are projected and they are observed.
So you can't know that because you didn't observe it. So how would you know that it behaved differently?
All right, we do
No.
have a phone call. Let's take that call. Good morning. This is Beyond Me. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. The quantum mechanical changes occur in small objects the size of an electron or smaller. The Planck's constant involves a quantity with 24 zeros in front of it. We're not talking about something the size that you and I can see. We're talking about things that you have to see with an electron microscope.
Well, that's what they said. They said electrons, but they said they say light is made of electrons.
Yes, the dual nature of light, the particle and the wave.
Okay. So how does this make sense that if you look at it, it's going to behave based on your expectations?
Yeah, well, you're talking about a small particle. So it's subject to relativistic uncertainty.
Okay, I'm still not sure I understand this, but it sounds like you do, though. Does it make... Okay, but let me ask you...
When things get up towards the speed of light, you can talk about the speed or the position, but not both. It's called the Heisenberg uncertainty relation.
Okay, so does it make sense to you, their conclusion, that if we look at these faraway stars and have expectations, our expectations will be part of what we see?
Yes.
Really? See, I don't understand that at all.
It's not easy.
All right, Jim. I'll leave it to you guys.
Professor George Gamow wrote some books that simplify the concept. If you're interested,
I'll be more educated.
Yeah, 30 Years That Shook Physics is the one that immediately comes to mind.
Oh my gosh, that's what you read in the spare time. All right, yeah. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate your thoughts.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you.
Never mind. I shouldn't even ask questions like that.
Well,
when the answer is going to be over my head, why should I even ask it?
Well,
because you're curious.
Because maybe you're expecting an answer that's not over your head.
Well, it's because you know how I took it. You know how I took it. I took it like we're going to see light, and we're going to be able to say, "Oh my gosh, that star." I don't know, had planets with life around it. That's what we expect to see. And maybe it didn't have it, but since we expect to see it, we will see that. It's like opening the refrigerator and expecting to see a Hershey bar.
Oh, boy.
Right?
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. Yeah. And you're thinking the more you think about it, then the probability of it being there is greater. Oh, boy. Yeah. That's a theory all of its own.
You're expecting the saltpeter to actually stop the boyfriend from what he's got in mind.
Yeah.
It's not working. That guy should be just... his daughter is probably
it was a good thought at the time.
Did you have that problem with your daughters? I mean, did you worry about their boyfriends?
I always worried about their dates in the sense that more safety as far as getting to a place and getting back.
Yeah.
Because they would say they'd be back at 10 and here it is midnight type of thing,
I know.
And those were the days when cell phones weren't readily available.
Yes.
A cell phone for a car was like a huge box.
Yeah.
So it's not like you could contact them. So, and then they come home at midnight laughing, everything's fine. They had a wonderful time. And I said, man, you said you'll be home at 10. I know, but we went to Waffle House or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but, parents just worry. That's the bottom line.
We went to Steak and Shake, and we saw the kids coming out of the prom. Mm-hmm. And I said, every one of their parents is worried right now. And then Robin said, well, no, maybe not, because they all have smartphones.
Yeah.
So their parents would know where they are. The dad's probably looking at his. Oh, she's at the Steak and Shake right now.
Yeah, you can track. Yeah. We'd never tracked our daughters. We've kind of liked to.
Would you have if you had the technology?
No. We didn't want to catch them in a lie. Maybe that's being too altruistic.
No. I understand that. Yeah.
We didn't want them to say they were going over a girlfriend's house and find out they were going over a boyfriend's house.
Right. That's right. Let them have their life. Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
It's like a baby monitor. You monitor the baby. Let's say it's in a house, but the parents are in the house too, and we're always wondering what is the what's being monitored. And as you know, if anything electronic can be monitored outside the house.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a call, but after the call, did you hear about the electronic license plates coming to Florida?
I heard that.
That sounds
You did hear
cool.
about it?
I did hear about
Okay, I want to ask you about that.
On you.
Oh, you heard us talk about it?
Yeah.
I'll dig it up while you're talking to the next caller. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim.
Morning. I've been through that with my daughter. They always come across. Well, we went over to Johnny Waffle's house.
Johnny Waffle.
Johnny Waffle.
Johnny was, yeah.
I was just wondering now, with Viagra, how much are they going to take along on that first space flight to Mars?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 6 months there and back. I mean, they're going to have to take a ton of it.
Yeah, and saltpeter.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not positive I understood that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. All right. So here's
Thank
the
you.
story, right? Digital license plates are about to go mainstream in Florida, and it could help save taxpayers millions. All right? I'm reading this from
Sure.
ABC. They're called R plates. They are now already on sale in California. Soon will be available in Arizona, Texas, and Florida. The plates sell for $699 plus a monthly service plan that costs $7.75. They come equipped with an optional GPS tracking system, and they will display amber alerts or silver alerts instead of your license plate number. Plus, when you re-sign up for it, I don't want to read the whole thing, it automatically updates, so you don't have to worry about putting a sticker on it anymore.
That's very expensive.
I know. I don't understand how it's going to save taxpayers money.
No, it's not going to save taxpayers money, no.
No, because you're paying for it. You're paying $700 for it.
But look
to
how
have
many
that
prisoners
plate.
you put out of work.
So what happens if your plate is stolen? I mean, is there some way to keep it on your car that it's going to make it steal-proof? I mean, will it work if somebody steals it and puts it somewhere else?
Well, it says GPS, so
You know where it is.
maybe they can find it. They'll know right where it is.
But can you imagine following somebody and then all of a sudden their license plate gives you an Amber Alert right there in the front?
You can't read that.
No.
I can't.
No,
You're right.
I wouldn't
No, I
be
but,
able
can't
but I'm
read
supposed to
that.
get new glasses soon, so maybe
No. You actually, when you get to the parking lot and let's say you're parked behind a car, remember, you don't drive that close to a car. So let's imagine a car that's at least 30 feet ahead of you. Look at that license plate and see.
No,
if you can-
I'm with you. I can't see that.
No, you're going to tell me you're going to read a scroll coming across being saying, be aware of a 1992 Chevy. No, come on, no way.
Yeah, because
No
you're
way.
going to end up getting in an accident because you're focusing so much on reading what's on the plate.
Exactly.
You're not
No,
paying attention
That
to
has
your
no
driving.
value whatsoever. That's just a marketing gimmick.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Marketing gimmick.
I was looking for it so I could see the part where it says about the Amber Alert. But anyway, according to the state, this is the state of Florida, Section 320-06. Florida statutes allow the department to evaluate technologies for alternative license plates.
One thing I would like to see, probably never become a reality, is on the newer cars, because you really can't retrofit an old car. If you're driving at 30 miles an hour and the law says you must be one car length per every 10 foot, so let's assume you're 30 feet behind, then the car in front of you is normal. But
You mean
if
10
you
miles
get
per hour,
closer,
right?
then the lights on the car will light up, like a yellow light will come up on the top of the car or on the side of the car,
Oh, my.
letting you know you're too close for that speed.
That's a good idea.
Wow, now
I think that's a great idea.
So it's one car length for every 10 miles per hour, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But if you've been on 95 and you were heading south, or 75 going to Tampa, how close are those cars to you?
Oh, they're
It's
like right
unbelievable.
there. You can't, you can see the
I mean, if
eyelashes
you
of the
leave one
driver.
car length space, another car will go into it.
I know.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
And that's at 70 miles plus an
know.
hour.
Oh, I've-
That's crazy.
Jim, I've always said my speedometer is broken. Because I'll go the speed limit and everybody's passing me all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was parked. This car was parked at a stop sign, and then there was this convenience store entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped behind the convenience store entrance because you're never supposed to block
Right.
a grid. This car was behind me. There's a stop sign. He pulls around me, 2-lane road, just pulled around me and pulled right in front of me and blocked the grid.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it. He just had to
Exactly.
be right there in that spot.
Exactly.
Wow.
So what are you doing for Mother's Day?
Well, my wife has been out of town for about a week and a half, visiting some relatives up north, and she was going to be out of town for Mother's Day. So my Mother's Day's plan has changed. She's coming back. So,
Oh, nice.
So we'll probably go out to dinner some.
Oh, how
someplace.
wonderful.
Yeah, someplace nice and crowded.
Yeah, but with good food. And a
Everybody
nice
had the same
cocktail.
idea to go out to dinner. I actually prefer to cook because I'm a very good cook, so I prefer to cook. But she likes to just get out of the house and go.
So do you cook on Father's Day?
I cook every day. My wife doesn't cook.
You don't do anything special on Father's Day?
Wonderful.
No. Well, you say special.
Well, your
I'll
daughters
go out to
come.
dinner. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Why don't you cook?
Wonderful.
They don't want me to. They'll say it's Father's Day. You shouldn't be cooking.
Ah, one of
I
those.
said, yeah, but I cook tomorrow, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, but that's really special. I mean, it's so good. Your face just lit up when you said she was coming back. For
Oh, yeah,
Mother's
no,
Day.
she is coming back.
I know you
yeah.
miss her, and
Happy days are here again.
I love the love. That
Just stay
your
away
wife
from the
has.
Sensodyne toothpaste.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
That'll ruin
Don't do
everything.
that.
You got to stay sensitive.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
You might have a lawsuit going on there.
Good morning, you're on the air. Yeah, really.
There's no warning label.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning. I just wanted to tell Jim he don't need to talk like that on the radio talking about cooking every day. My wife's listening.
Yeah, my wife can't even
Have a
boil
good
water.
day.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're making all of us look bad.
I tell you.
No, I think that's wonderful. Ronnie used to cook all the time.
Yeah, all my daughters had said when they get married they wanted to marry a man that cooked because they've never cooked in the house. I taught them all how to cook, but they just they don't want to. You know, they just want to.
So what
eat.
is your
They don't
specialty?
wanna
What are
cook.
you good at?
I'm good at everything. I really am. I read a lot of cookbooks. You know, you've given cookbooks away on the shows and such, and I read a lot of cookbooks. But I like down home food. I don't like none of that stuff where you put, you know, 4 opposing things together and say it's yummy. No, don't give me a salad with
By the-
walnuts and raisins and.
By the
and-
way-
no,
Well,
no.
Larry likes to cook. You cook a lot. You like
I do?
cooking dinner.
Peanut butter and jelly.
I'm good with breakfast, yeah.
Grilled cheese. I've heard of famous grilled cheese.
I'm pretty with grilled cheese. So let me tell you something I saw, and it has to do with cookbooks. I saw a lot lately, like in the last couple of years, young musicians, instead of having sheet music, they'll have their iPad on the music stand, and it's got their music on it. Okay, I don't know how they turn the pages while they're playing, but
Right.
there it is. All right. But I've seen cookbooks like this too. I've seen people using digital cookbooks
Oh my.
on one of those cooking shows. We were at
Yeah.
Stevie B's, and it was up on the big screen TV.
Oh, I missed that.
So
A
yeah.
digital cook.
Yeah, I didn't even point it out because I didn't think much of it
Wow.
till just now. But
Yeah.
so you have the real cookbooks propped up on something.
No, I don't use a cookbook. I read a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
cookbooks. I like the idea.
Oh, you
of
memorize
a meal.
everything.
Oh yeah. I always tell my wife, like, show me making a meal, and we'll get right down to one item. Let's say she wants to cook today, and she'll say, "Oh, we don't have turmeric or we don't have cumin, so I can't make it." I said that was just someone's idea of a herb or a spice they liked in it. You know,
Right.
choose your own herb or a spice. Oh, I can't do that. No, I can't. Do that.
Oh my.
And I
She's
said,
gotta
get out of the
follow
way, and I
book.
finished the meal. She said, you know,
I bet it was good.
"Oh, it's always good."
Yeah.
What's the hardest thing to
Good.
cook? Meat
Wow.
or vegetables or fish?
Probably fish for me.
Why is that hard to cook?
Well, everybody likes it done a different way. Some people like the fish just done, you know, nice and flaky, and let's say it's white or whatever.
Yeah.
Some of them like it overdone, so it's nice and crispy.
So we have an argument,
so-
or not an argument, but Galen and I have this thing about tartar
Oh
sauce.
yeah, tartar sauce. I heard that.
So does it offend you if you make fish and I put tartar sauce on it?
Oh no.
Oh, see?
No, my wife loves tartar sauce.
Thank you. See?
If I give her a spoon, she'd eat the whole bottle. She loves tartar sauce. I think she wants the only reason she wants fish is for the
doesn't
tartar
listen.
sauce.
Yeah, the tartar sauce is great.
Like my daughters, they love broiled shrimp, but they always want the shrimp cocktail.
Oh.
Well, you guys have a great Mother's
Oh,
Day
thank you. You
weekend.
guys too.
Have fun. Be careful, and we'll see you
Yep.
next week.
I'm on my way to Tallahassee.
And remember, your
Oh,
expectations
drive careful.
influence quantum physics.
Yeah, that's all they say.
All right, we'll be right back. Don't put any saltpeter in anything. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. President Trump this afternoon gives a speech about lowering prescription drug prices. Health and Human Services Secretary